Yesterday was a dark day for workers in this province when this government introduced draconian legislation that has forever changed labour relations in this province. The right-wing Tea Party agenda of this PC government shined brightly yesterday when they removed the ability of public service workers to bargain in good faith. Rather than follow UN labour guidelines to respect, quote, the recognition of the right to collective bargaining, this government is ramming through a bill that violates basic human rights, Mr. Speaker. To the Premier, why isn't this government respecting workers' rights to enter arbitration without imposing cuts to wages, the stiff pay?
Honourable member of the front bench. Deputy Premier.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, it was a dark day in Alberta history yesterday because the protesters were actually turning on the leader of the NDP, and that is something new for this province. Mr. Speaker, the fact is that this legislation does not impose anything. It gives AUP and this government an opportunity to negotiate in good faith until the end of January, and I'm certainly hoping that both parties will be able to reach an agreement, much like teachers and doctors and others will have.
Honourable members, I did not interject yesterday, but there are a lot of you interjecting today, and if it continues, I'll keep standing, and you're going to lose question period spaces. So please keep that in mind, both sides of the House. Let's listen to what the supplemental is from the Leader of the New Democrat Opposition, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Mr. Speaker, the leadership review is over, and now the mask has slipped, revealing the true face of this Premier. The latest attack on working families exceeds the wildest dreams of Margaret Thatcher, Mike Harris, or Stephen Harper. They have put a gun to the head of the public sector and threatened leaders for even communicating with their own members. My question is to the Premier. Why are you trampling on the rights of workers and attacking the standard of living of their families?
Mr. Speaker, we are a province of 4 million people, and those are 4 million people that make up families and that work hard every day in this province. And whether they are people that are in public sector unions or private unions or not in unions, we think it's important that they be valued and compensated fairly, Mr. Speaker. That's why we have asked for the AUPE to come to the table and to continue to bargain until the end of January so that we can actually, Mr. Speaker, get a deal that is fair for Alberta taxpayers, Alberta families, 4 million people in Alberta, and for workers, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, all the talk about being fair to working people. The latest Consumer Price Index shows Alberta has the highest rate of inflation in the country, 1.5% across the province. The unilateral contract to be imposed on public sector workers, and that's what it is, Mr. Speaker, will actually result in workers taking home less money to look after their families, contribute to the economy, or even to make ends meet. Why has this government established a policy of reducing the living standards of working families through the imposition of multi-year wage freezes?
Honourable Deputy Premier.
Mr. Speaker, what the member forgets to tell Albertans is that we also have the highest average weekly earnings in this province. Mr. Speaker, the fact is that we value our frontline employees. They deliver very valuable services throughout government of Alberta, just like we value teachers and doctors. We have reached deals, long-term deals, for the benefit of students with our teachers, for the benefit of patients with our doctors, and I'm hoping that we can reach a deal with AUP for the benefit of all Albertans.